Well, everyone, Home Depot has officially lost the plot. Take a look at this. Unpacking privilege. It's all about white privilege and how if you feel confident that the police exist to protect you, you have white privilege. If you had the expectation of going to college, you have class privilege. If you have the expectation to have days off, you have Christian privilege. If you're straight, you have heterosexual privilege. And if you don't have to worry about how to get into a store, you have able-bodied privilege. I haven't even heard of this one, but apparently, if you do not have fear or anxiety of going into a bathroom, you have cisgender privilege. Folks, you are privileged, and therefore you should feel guilty. Look, this was trending on Twitter, and I just had to respond. In my opinion, what this document does is it makes people feel guilty. White people, straight people, Christians, it brings folks down. And it may be true that privileges exist. And let's just say, if white people, Christians, or whatever have a privilege, what is the point of bringing them down via guilt when in reality, rather than teaching wokeness, we should be teaching communication, bluntness, skills, and value to bring everybody up to the same level and then beyond? Let me give you an example. I'm German. Some people instantly think, that's it, you are a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. And if they continue to believe that, that's their problem. But I don't need people walking around going, damn, I'm not German. Therefore, I have non-Nazi privilege. What the hell? Come on. First of all, that does me no good. It also does them no good. Because A, I'm not a Nazi. B, I don't really care if you think you have a privilege over me because you're not German. That does me no good, and it does you no good. You know what does me and you good, though? Those around me being blunt and communicating properly. Hey, I know you're German, but I don't care. You're a hard worker and I enjoy working with you. In fact, I have an idea for how we can make this store a better place. What if we use this strategy to sell paint? I have an idea how we can build wealth together by renovating this fixer-upper on this street outside Detroit. By the way, Detroit's doing very well, growing out very well outside the center of Detroit. I was just there. I have an idea on how we can invest together. I have an idea for how we can build a better society together. Those are good things. That brings everyone up. This letter from Home Depot and we'll look at it again in a moment, it just assigns guilt. Here, check your guilt box. The objective is to lower people, to bring people down, not to elevate them. That's ridiculous. That's objectiveless. That's dumb. That's silly. And look, I get it. It's not Home Depot's fault that our schools don't teach finance, that they don't teach credit and the importance of having a good credit score, that they don't teach wealth. It's not Home Depot's fault that black people are poorer than white people on average, in part because they were discriminated against because of redlining and blockbusting real estate. That's not Home Depot's fault. It's effed up. It happened. But you know how we fix the issue? Not by white people walking around going, well, I'm privileged because I didn't have redlining and blockbusting. Okay. That may be true, but what good does that do for black folks who were left behind? It does us nothing. Okay, yeah, I'm white. But does that all of a sudden make a black person richer? No. A white person saying, I'm white, does not make a black person richer. But you know what makes blacks, Asians, Russians, Ukrainians, Germans, or whatever richer? Understanding long-term investments like real estate and stocks, proper communication about progress, not guilt, about ideas, and perpetuating society in a positive direction, not bringing society back and down. Home Depot, this is a disgusting letter. I go to Home Depot for tools, for outlets, for paint. Honestly, I don't even want to talk to anyone. But if you want to give your employees a benefit, how about this? How about instead of checking a privilege box, you have them check a box on how can we help you build wealth? How can we help you get into your first home? How can we help you make your first investment into stocks? How can we make sure you are maxing out your 401k? How can we make sure you are making money and building wealth and we are progressing in society together? What good does, hey, let's take people and make them feel bad? What good does that do for the person who's supposed to, like, are all of a sudden people in a wheelchair supposed to feel better that other people now feel bad that they're not in a wheelchair? And this is not saying that we should not have ADA compliance. I absolutely think we should. This is also not saying that I don't think Juneteenth should be a national holiday, which it is, by the way. My employees get Juneteenth off. My employees get all of these days off. They get Martin Luther King's birthday off as well. But it doesn't mean that all of a sudden we have to label people to try to make them feel better. Home Depot, I don't know what your problem is. And you've also got a big typo over here. When you feel unformatable talking about white privilege, here's some questions to yourself, to ask yourself. Why does this unsettle me? How does this lens change my understanding of racial dynamics? Are you freaking kidding me? So how about then we try to have better schools, build people's wealth, and protect our communities better by elevating everybody's skill and wealth so people don't have to steal bread to get ahead in life because there's so much inflation and the government failed people in high school. People graduate high school and they can't even get a job at McDonald's anymore because our high schools suck. This is government's problem. But this garbage from Home Depot, starting the conversation, talking to your friends, family, or coworkers about race is not an easy conversation. Okay, you know what? I'm going over. I'm gonna talk to my black friends and my Jewish friends, and I'm gonna sit down and go, I'm sorry, I'm white. What? No! No! We're gonna go, yo, let's have a beer and let's talk about making a company together. Let's talk about an investing opportunity. Let me share with you how you can build wealth in real estate. You know what? Let me help you fix up that property. Come on, man. That's how we get ahead in society. Not this garbage. Home Depot, this is disgusting.